Veteran owned and operated.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
On 1010XL.
Hit it.
The 1010XL text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
Yes. This is the odd couple.
The plate incident from yesterday is further proof that you guys are truly like a married couple. Well, this would be the theme from the odd couple.
Yes.
You would be the slob who can't clean up after yourself. And
It's not true.
And I would be your buddy.
Although I would be Oscar because he wore a Mets cap.
Who you expect to. Oscar was a sports writer, wasn't he,
Yes,
in the
he
odd
was.
couple? And what was Tony Randall?
Tony Randall
Other
was
than dainty.
clean.
Yeah, I've just identified myself.
Tony Randall had a kid like when he was 77
Tony
years
Randall
old.
could bring it.
Yeah.
No doubt
He brought
about
the thunder in the real world.
Huh?
He brought the thunder.
Yeah. That's
He brought the fire.
Tony Randall.
I just wanted you to pick up the plate. That's
Yeah,
all. I didn't mean to make a big deal out of it.
Well,
I
you
just-
did. You made a huge deal out of it. You put it on the radio.
Let's put it out there. The two plates are side by side. How do you not pick up both
Yeah,
plates? It's just a natural. Is
I'm
it
gonna-
not natural to pick up
Hey.
both plates?
I would have.
Hey, I'm going to file this away on both you jokers. I am. I'm going to file it away. It won't take long. Within the week, I'll have a retort example from right here in the studio one morning from you two, the most
Both plates.
considerate chaps on earth walking around.
You won't find that on me.
Yeah, okay.
You won't.
We'll
plates.
see. We'll see. I'm gonna have a keen eye. You already are gonna get. I'm gonna sneak in here one morning about 5:45.
Boogly, boogly, boo.
Right, scare you about to death. That's coming.
See you later, Jeff. Coke
Right?
bottles right here.
Yeah. What do you think? You want me to go make you a sandwich while we're at it?
Coke bottle.
Huh?
I'll get it. Don't worry, I'll get it. All right, concepts and rationalizations. We call it 10-minute drill. We do each and every day. At the end of the drill, I think we have a prize pack. Are we handing out anything today?
Yeah, man, we got a little razzle dazzle, $25 gift card to Tropical Smoothie, so you can enjoy your March Madness at Tropical Smoothie. We got you. They got what's called the Duval Delight.
Duval Delight.
Yeah.
Those are coming in today.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, we'll be sipping on some Duval Delight. The city is, I mean, we've said this before. It's real, though. It's not just some metaphor. It's just a happier place when the Jags win and they play like they did yesterday. And,
Yes.
And, there are so many sidebars and ripple effects, perhaps, to the dominant performance. But one of those is, if you're going to be serious about becoming a contender and getting better week to week, there's a couple things. You got to do it consistently, right?
Right.
But you got to be good at home. Nobody in the
Yes.
NFL any good goes 3-5 at home.
Got to win those home
And
games.
3-5, by the way, will be a step up for us, at home. But you got to win those games, and to beat a good team like Indianapolis, even though it's big not having Pittman and Leonard. It is.
Sure it is.
It's big.
You know, we have to recognize the realities of the
for
world.
sure. And Leonard, not just the plays he makes, but running the defense. Maybe those crossing routes that worked all day long, they slow up with some sort of. And Frank Reich might be dead man walking. I mean, you fired your quarterback last time for losing here. And, I meant to bring – I'm going to look this up now. Do you remember – and shame on us for not bringing it up last week. I wonder if it made it to the Jaguars bulletin board. But do you remember some of the comments of Jim Irsay early in the offseason when they decided to change the quarterback? Do you remember how he characterized the decision? And it was something to the effect of, I mean, look, I understand the league, but you can't lose to the Jaguars. Something to that effect.
Something to that effect.
I mean,
But
definitely.
I don't want to quote. 'Cause I don't remember. I don't exactly remember.
I'm going to tell you what it is.
Okay.
And now I want to enjoy this, right? But gosh, it's hard not to at least take a peek to Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
And after Trevor lagging behind in like the notoriety and the performance, what an opportunity from a individual standpoint.
And another thing in constructing this football team, all the eyebrows were raised. Everybody was mad when Christian Kirk got the money that he got. And then Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, Cooper Kupp, A.J. Brown, Stephon Diggs, Terry McLaurin, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, all make more than Christian Kirk. Okay?
Sure, at the time, but
all those guys. And looky who's fourth in the league in receiving yards right now and who's – in the top 10 in catches. And I mean, so
2 touchdowns. He's on a great pace. 100 catches to 1,200 yards. And
1,200. Try 1,700.
Okay, yeah. Fair.
I mean, if you're talking pace,
right? But
yeah.
I'm trying to dumb it down a little bit. The 100
Yeah.
catches I think are possible. The 1,700 yards I would doubt, but hey, who knows? In that case, he's also got 17 touchdowns. He'll be the MVP.
Well, he looks like a number one receiver.
Jim Irsay was. They caught up to Jim Irsay at the combine. Where they'll often talk. And did they ask him about the Colts no-show in Week 18 and then all the changes they ended up making, primarily dumping Carson Wentz?
Right.
And this is what Jim Irsay said about our football team this calendar year from the NFL calendar even. No disrespect to Jacksonville, but I mean, they're the worst team in the league. You play well and hard for the first quarter or so. They're looking to go to their locker room and clean it out. I've never seen anything like that in my life. You say, my God, there's something wrong here. It needs to be corrected. I think that we feel like we did.
Yeah.
I don't want to sprain my shoulder, but I try to tell all y'all what Matt Ryan is.
Yeah.
Not an upgrade for Indy. Doesn't take them to another level as a contender. Doesn't mean that they're not a contender, but Matt Ryan is not going to be the difference. If Matt Ryan equals Carson Wentz equals Phillip Rivers, the Colts still don't have their quarterback. And by the way, very quickly developing that that we have the best quarterback in the division. And correct me if I'm wrong, we also have the only coach in the division who's won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, it's that coach quarterback pairing that got us so exciting, and both were put on a show yesterday.
No, it was a terrific victory for Jacksonville. We're going to talk more about that with Tony here at the top of the hour. Also, if you want to chime in, we'll open up the phone lines here in about 10 minutes. So we'll let you guys say what you think about the Jags. Best win since, thoughts on Trevor, where do we go from here? How much did you enjoy the bank yesterday? I thought it was not a great opening day crowd in terms of numbers, but they were certainly – one thing about the bank, they get loud in there. But listen, I think this is why the team, the city, we needed this. We needed to show some results. Look, we got to give some positive stuff around here, and I thought that was a big win for them. So, as the season progresses and the Jags get competitive, and I think that they will, and I'm almost fairly certain that they will, I believe that the fans are going to start to come back, and I think, the weather was a little off yesterday. Obviously, it's a little rainy in the morning, so it wasn't packed. And
it
that's
picked
fine.
up, though. It did pick up, and the juice was there.
The
right?
juice was there.
They're always the fans.
That's what I mean.
And by the way, keep this up, Jags. Play like this, and
they'll come.
Yeah, you'll get rewarded late in the season with some shoulder-to-shoulder crowds.
Yeah. So anyway, a lot of good stuff there yesterday. It wasn't so good in the Swamp on Saturday night. I went down there for that tilt, and boy, oh boy, Florida really should not have won that
lucky
game.
To win.
They really were lucky to win that game against South Florida. And if you go back and watch the game, it was some bad play. A lot of it starts with AR, but he's not the only problem, and he is a problem. This is what I'll say after watching him for 2 games or 3 games. He loses confidence quickly. If he makes a bad throw, he doesn't seem to get back off the mat and just rip another one. It's concerning now. It's more than concerning. It's alarming. We're 3 games in. He has no touchdown passes. He's probably the worst-rated quarterback in the SEC. I haven't looked at the numbers this morning, but it's not a good situation with him. They'll continue to work with him. They don't. A lot of people. Why don't they play? There's no one else to play. Jack Miller's out with a thumb injury. They are really, and I'm not making excuses. I had said all along, Utah got us all going, and we shouldn't have fell for that. There has to be some patience here. There's smaller guys playing inside. They're getting pushed around by USF. The run defense was pathetic.
It has been all year. It started in the second half. They have not stopped anyone since the second. And, there's this thought, because the running game is good. The offensive line is good. And they can, if they just want to hand it off, because they didn't hardly run it. I mean, they only ran it 20 times with effectiveness. But the problem is that kind of football team needs to be able to play defense.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to run the ball, play defense, and the Gators, of the 80s, had, win a game 17-13. This team couldn't hold a team to 13 points if they played 10 minutes. They are getting pushed around defensively. They had no Ventrell Miller. I don't know where Jervon Dexter was. Did he play the other day? He did,
but the problem is he's the only good one they got, and he gets triple teamed. He gets pushed around. He's too.
So they've got certainly got issues.
They got Tyreek Sapp playing some on the inside, and I don't know how much he weighs, but he don't weigh 300 pounds. I'll tell you that. He's 260 maybe.
You know what it looks like?
What?
I lost my train of thought.
Anyway, back to Anthony Richardson. He is dead last in the SEC. He's 41 of 77 in 3 games. 41 of 77. His long pass is 33 yards. He's got 4 picks, no touchdowns, and his QBR is 89.
Yeah, there's some people that are owed an apology after these last couple of games. First, I'll personally apologize to Cam Newton and Vince Young and Josh Allen.
Yeah.
The next U is not in Gainesville right now.
No.
And quite frankly, again, I'm not going to be a huge apologist for the guy. I'm not as hard on the ex-coaches as some people are, and I get it. I'm not going to condemn anybody who wants to see Dan Mullen slow burn.
Yeah.
But we at least know why we didn't see Anthony Richardson forced into the lineup.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, if he's not ready now, after having total control of the offense because he's not ready, and they need to make some sort of decision. And this is where I wonder, Dan, do you get caught in the middle of this, protecting Anthony Richardson and developing Anthony Richardson, the pro prospect, or putting Anthony Richardson in the RPO and running him 24 times a game?
You got to win the game. I mean,
well, then he needs to be. They need to revamp their attack and only pass when it's 3rd and 3.
All right. Well, they're 12th in offense. They're 12th in scoring
in the
SEC out of 14 teams. It's going to take time. It's going to take time, and they've got to get some players. They're very, very thin. The receivers are no good. I'm going to give you one suggestion. I'm going to try to help, and you can get this message down to Gainesville if you know. I know Billy Napier. Obviously, he follows me on Twitter, so perhaps I'll send him in this way. But I'm going to give you just one suggestion, and the Packers did it last night, and it's smart. You have to get your best players on the field. Well, your best players on offense are your running backs.
Play them both.
Get them both.
Yeah.
Rotate them in that way. Get one of them in the slot. I don't know what, but figure something out where you've got ETN and Montrell on the field. You want to work Naquan Wright in as much as you do, put him in the slot.
Things are cyclical, Hick, and the reason the passing game has developed like it did is because when it came along, people weren't used to it and they didn't stop it. Mm-hmm. You don't have to go back that far in history to see two good tailbacks in the backfield together.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Georgia did it with, going back, Florida did it. I mean, Florida at one point had 4, were they first-round running backs?
Yes.
Neil Anderson, John O. Williams, Lorenzo Hampton. I mean, I agree with you 100%. You got to get them both on the field. One thing that just looks like to me after just 2 weeks, more than even in other years, it's Georgia and Alabama and everybody else. And it may be Georgia and everybody else based on how Alabama played the week before at Texas. Georgia is just head and shoulders, light years better than anybody else I've seen.
Yeah.
And what makes that even more impressive. And by the way, before we conclude a college football segment, what a huge gutty win for FSU on the road. They lose their quarterback. And,
tremendous win.
Roadmaker comes in and plays terrific, and that's not an easy win. A Louisville team that had won at UCF the week before. And, they're FSU now with a couple of impressive wins, right?
Yeah, and I want to talk about this, and not today because we got a lot to go over, a lot of sporting events, but later in the week, remind me. I want to talk about, the shift that I've noticed in culture when it comes to college football. It's interesting to me, and I saw it in a couple of instances this weekend. So I'll get to it later. But it's just that one of the things that the NIL creates is a little bit more of a, well, wait a minute now, you're getting paid, and I'm paying you. I expect more from you, and they're not afraid to say so. So it's not like, whereas in the old days, you used to be like, we're not going to boo kids. They're college kids. They're freshmen. Yeah. Wait a minute. I'm part of this NIL collective. Mm-hmm. I'm giving money, and I expect. And if I want to criticize, I'm going to criticize. So don't tell me not to. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But
that's fair. Just a baseball note. We're going to go to break because we want to come back and take a few calls. They're going to be quick hitters. Make your point. We got to move along because we got Tony scheduled straight up 8:00.
Yep.
Top of the hour. Aaron Judge 2 more home runs yesterday, and Albert Pujols homered again over the weekend. If it weren't for Judge's year, Pujols would be getting even more attention. This guy has gone on a tear.
Yeah.
This final month of the season, he's got like 10 of his home runs in the last 30 days.
Let's get him to 700. All right.
It looks like he might get there. 698 for Pujols, 59 now for Judge.
All right. 641-1010. We got a prize pack to give away if you want it. Tell them what they're going to win. You'll take the first caller. We'll give that. We'll come back and we'll open the phone lines. Take your phone calls on the Jags' victorious, glorious Sunday here on a Monday morning.
$25 gift card, gift certificate to Tropical Smoothie so you can enjoy Monday Madness at Tropical Smoothie with the official smoothie of the Jaguars, which is the Duval Delight, made with bananas, coconut, pineapple, and lemonade.
The The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here.
1991, we played Boston College. Tommy Mack had like 15 tackles.
19.
Oh, I'm sorry,
That's
19.
okay,
Took 4
but
away
it was
from
19.
Tom McManus, Friday from 10 to noon on 10.